you will see there are hundreds of these apps, these filters that are still essentially plastic surgery. Hi YouTube, today we're going to talk about face tuning apps, photo editing apps, and why you should care. Before I jump in, please remember to give this a thumbs up, hit like, click subscribe, it helps me buy my fancy kitties all that fancy kitty food. Alright, so did you know FaceTune just received $135 million of funding? And that MEITU hit the stock market at $5 billion valuation. Businesses that change our face are making more money than ever. But wait a second, maybe you have never actually seen FaceTune or MEITU. I'm gonna actually show you two pictures of me edited with this technology. First, FaceTune. You can see in the photo, I can go to a real extreme, but you see the video version right here. This is their latest update, and FaceTune launched this about 6 months ago. I think it's a response to TikTok's editing, and you can see in the video, I can go really extreme and it looks a bit silly, but I could also go super subtle and you would have no idea. And there was actually a blogger, a Chinese blogger, who was called out about a year ago because she had been so massively MeTooing her body and her face. And then at an event, another person took a photo of her, posted it, and there was this big scandal around it. Anyone who's using these apps to an extreme is probably really struggling with their own self-image, and I don't know if public shaming is ever the answer. But let me show you what MEITU can do as well. And it's not just face that MEITU edits. They can also change your body, where with just one click of a button, it finds your arms and it says bigger, smaller, finds your legs, bigger, smaller. It's kind of terrifying, the technology that goes into this one. I've spoken recently to 2 different therapists and psychologists who focus on body image issues, and both of them have said that during COVID and during quarantine time, they've seen mental health and body image issues shoot up, hand in hand with our increased time spent on social media. We are programmed to rank ourselves against other humans and constantly compare ourselves. That will start to weigh on our hearts. One of the things I get asked most often is, should tech companies or governments change things? I would love that in an ideal world. Okay, so about a year ago, Instagram announced they were going to stop allowing filters that duplicated plastic surgery. If you've been doing the no filter challenge, the one where on Instagram where you cover your face and it breaks the filter, you will see there are hundreds of these apps, these filters that are still essentially plastic surgery. Instagram announced this, they kind of monitored it for, I don't know, a few weeks, and then it came back. TikTok blew up, and indeed their upgrade allowed more advanced changing of your features. You can't expect tech companies or governments who can't even agree on climate control to regulate this. What we can do is educate ourselves, educate our children, and just be hyper aware. Also, I am not trying to shame anyone who chooses to retouch and edit their photos. I think empowerment looks and feels different on different people at different times. This is just about informing you and trying to help you understand what's going on. How do you know if someone's been retouching their little photos, and how do you keep an eye on it just to keep yourself safe? First off, look at the skin. Skin is meant to have texture. Skin has pores. See? Look at if their eyes are super big or crazy detailed, or the teeth are glowing Chandler White at you. And then when it comes to bodies, the easiest way to tell is if a line in the background gets its wiggle on. So if they're next to a door and the door does, it pulls in towards their waist, odds are their hips are not powerful enough to pull that door to their waist. Apps are getting smarter because they're now doing functions where you can freeze the background so that the background doesn't shift in. There was a bit of a controversy a few years ago with Meghan Trainor, and in one of her music videos, the post-production team shrunk her waist in to give her more of that societally approved hourglass shape. And Meghan actually came out against it, and she was like, this isn't okay, I didn't approve this, I'm not okay with this, you need to change it back. Okay, so now the big question, how can you protect your mental health if we are in a world where this kind of technology is popping up everywhere, not just movies and magazines, but on the photo of the girl next door? 1, diversify your feed. Make sure whatever you're following, whatever platform it is, that there's a variety of bodies, a variety of different shapes, figures, and My gosh, wouldn't it be great if you included a few accounts that do show things like cellulite, stretch marks, and that kind of diversity reminds us that quote unquote like Instagram perfection isn't the only aesthetic out there. 2, take some time off social media. This is controversial because I obviously am a social media person. We often think we're smarter than our phones. We think we're smarter than these like huge tech giants at the end of these social media apps. And their goal, even if they say otherwise, is to keep us on here longer. So take some time switched off. And finally, constantly try to remind yourself, whether it's someone showing, you know, wiggles and jiggles and bobbly bits, or it's that influencer with, you know, the perfect face and the perfect hair doing the perfect thing, social media is curated. It's curated no matter how it shows up, because it is not you and that person in real life interacting. It is them saying, okay, I want to share this. All right, guys, that's the end of my video. Please remember, click thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below what you think about all this. I would love to know your thoughts. Please remember to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. It helps me buy all the fancy food for my potentially Maine Coon kitty cat. All right, bye YouTube.